This is Robert, Lenny, and Ben, three guys at a bar.
That's correct.
This is our very first podcast. We're going to keep it nice and informal. We're going to talk about sports, New York mostly,
And we're going to try not to curse.
and we're going to try not to curse.
A little bit of bar refrigeration might get into the conversation
Correct.
too.
Okay, but we're going to enlighten everybody because I think we know about as much as anybody in this state, right? Don't you think?
We know as much as anybody on radio.
Okay, great. Good. So now we were just about to talk about the World Baseball Classic and the Diaz injury and whether or not it's valid. Ben was kind of in the middle of a conversation about this, and I decided this is our start.
And to further that conversation, Ben is a diehard Met fan, as I am. Bobby is a Yankee fan.
We still like
So,
him.
and in fact, he's the only Yankee fan that we like.
Listen,
But
I'm on record
as
saying as soon as I saw how many Met players were, I think one of the most players of any major league team went to the WBC, I felt horrible right away. I did not feel good about it.
I didn't feel good about it, but
And then look what happened.
Now, do you think that his injury could have been avoided because what they're doing is playing full-strength baseball instead of how you ease into a season in spring training?
You're never gonna know.
you're never going to know.
You're never gonna know.
And you know how he got hurt? He came down on somebody else's foot and it blew his knee out.
That's what happened.
That's what happened.
But
Not even.
so if you want to analyze the repercussions of it, listen, we got a good team.
Correct.
Bullpen was much better, even with the was much better going into the year. Without him, it's probably almost better than last year. But we just lost our advantage over the NL East.
Look, is the team better with Diaz? Absolutely. If you're going to look for false positives, which is a method of making us feel better, it happened where we have a chance to recuperate. We can get another outfielder. We can get another pitcher, or we can get both. If it happened after the trade deadline, what are you going to do?
But what about like what my Yankees did a couple years ago? Next man up. Don't you believe in Robertson and what's that? And that young kid who throws 103 miles an hour. That he looks good.
This is what's going to happen.
Bryce, he's hurt, isn't he?
Really?
Bryce De La O.
No. I forgot his name. But usually it's when
I
things...
want Britain.
Yeah,
I'll take a flyer on Britain. Why not?
Well, because Buck and Britton have a chemistry, right?
Yeah.
They know each other. Well,
but if I told you something like this, you never look for a positive, and all of a sudden the guy they're using to close, he's doing pretty good.
but if you had another time of year to do World Baseball Classic, when would you do it?
I heard that
Right after the World Series?
No, you take a break. You do it like you do in hockey.
mid-season.
It might be good for the. I don't know.
Because I like the baseball. Not that I like it. I think it.
Yeah, it's just that. It's just
What
that
is it?
these-
Every 2 years?
I think it's every 4 years.
I think it's every 4. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah. Well, for 1 minute, Cashman looks like a genius because he told his players don't play.
Well, Brandon Nimmo didn't play because he felt like he just signed his
Correct.
contract of his career, and
Yeah.
it wasn't the right thing to do.
Right. Yeah.
Well, Diaz just signed a $100 million contract. Maybe this wasn't the year he should have gone.
Yeah.
Is there something to that?
Yeah, there is something to that. They were talking about it, the players. Down when you come from the Caribbean, a Spanish country, Venezuela, Caracas, Curacao, PR, DR.
Right.
It's big to it.
It's big.
Ecuador, only not too many.
They would rather win this than the World Series. Without a doubt. This is what they grew up trying to do.
right.
Get off the island, play baseball, which is what they do here.
Yeah.
But they want to beat their neighbor. They want to beat their competitor.
Right. Country, national pride.
Correct.
Absolutely.
I know, I get it, but look who got hurt.
I know, Lenny. Ben is pretty upset.
He is. And I knew that you'd have that mic here, and I know it would be a perfect
Yeah.
spot. I thought.
Folks, 3 guys at a bar. 1 is very upset.
We're trying to talk them off a ledge.
Yeah. And you know, by the way, we are coming from the Red Hat on the River in Irvington,
New York.
which is a superb restaurant owned by none other than Ben and
By
his
the
wife
angry
Lucy.
one.
Yeah.
By the
And-
angry one.
Yeah, by the angry one. Yeah.
Yeah. We're going to use that name more often than not.
So I'm gonna get pigeonholed as the angry guy on the show.
What?
Because you're always positive.
Yeah, you have to be. What are you going to do? What are you, we're going to see what we got.
I just think I'm honest.
Well, I'm being honest. How many innings did Diaz pitch last year?
You ordered something, right?
Yeah, I'll have the Pilsner. Lenny, try this beer.
All right. What is it called?
We added a
Catskill, huh?
We added a Pilsner.
Is this the one we...
Just give Lenny a taste. Do you want to taste it?
Yeah. You know, because it's good, it's important for the inspiration for
Correct.
our first podcast.
That's right.
When it kicks on, I want to hear...
You'll hear it.
I'll hear it.
It's the loudest in the beginning. So, that's the Mets. Sign Britton. It's just money. Money's not supposed to be a problem to us, right? And let's go.
Yeah.
I like the kids. I think maybe not getting Correa, it winds up being
Good.
the right thing with Beatty and Vientos.
You know that Britain has trouble throwing strikes now, right?
Wait, back up a second. Who's mashing?
Vientos.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
You gonna say hi? It's the real owner of the
That is,
restaurant.
no, that's part owner, but the real boss.
Yeah.
Just to correct.
Right.
No, we veered off our initial topic.
No, we're good. Let's talk about the Yankees now.
Okay. No,
I don't even know anything
I want to go back to. I want to go back to what's his name? The Jets and the Packers.
I think
Because this is the first time I'm hearing that they had a deal. Because I can't believe they're talking
that
about
was
it.
reported. That was reported that the Jets had to ask permission to even talk to him. So they
Correct.
did
That's
that.
why when they
So
start.
once they had the visit to him, the Packers and the Jets had mutual, agreement on compensation.
If that word gets out, and it is true that the Packers had a handshake agreement with the Jets, and they went back on it, the Packers will never recover.
And you know who gets hurt more than anyone? It's not Rodgers. It's definitely not Rodgers. He doesn't get hurt at all. It's probably not the Jets, but it's a lot of individual players that now didn't get signed because they didn't get cut
Bubble
yet.
players.
Because they didn't get signed. Like Corey Davis is probably going to get cut, but he didn't get signed.
Yeah,
It affects a lot of people.
it
Yeah,
does.
but
It
but
does. It
but
does.
is this what you think the fate is, or do you think it's still good turn? Because it's all kind of confusing right now. The whole
The
thing.
only way. Look, I think if you're asking me, do you think Rodgers is still going to play for the Jets? I would say yes. Look, Jets don't have a
Yeah, I
quarterback.
think it's
now.
90%. I think
Yeah, the Jets.
because that's what I
The worst the Jets can do is overpay and get pissed off, but they'll overpay, and that's what.
and they will.
And they
have to
will.
at this
They
point.
have to. Now, the only time the Jets, the only caveat to that is if somehow the Packers get a second team in. I don't know who that second team is.
It's not the Raiders. That's it. It was Raiders were an option.
Yeah,
What did San Fran do? Did they do anything? That's not Sam Darnold.
yeah. So that's still open. The other one is also the wild card is still Miami. Well, even though they signed Tua.
What about the Rams? They're trying to get rid of him because they're saying that could be one of the Jets' backup options is trading for.
Who? Oh, Stafford?
Yeah,
Oh,
that came up this.
that's a
week.
backup option.
It's
Okay.
not terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, he can throw the ball, but he's a little wild.
Well, that's the first time hearing when you brought it up that the Packers are backing out of the deal that they had. That's bad.
but what
They're playing the market.
Well, what changed between the market and them? So you're saying Rodgers set it up where he was the only guy left
All the
standing?
other quarterbacks signed,
Well,
and now
well, that's my point. He didn't answer any questions until after everyone was gone.
But Rogers is out there kind of recommending who he wants them to sign.
Anthony,
that-
I'm going to have
But he also said
swordfish on
that's
the
not,
baguette.
And this is how you know we're really at a bar, guys. You can hear that it's active. We're eating
That-
lunch, we're drinking.
That's also, well, who knows if you trust Rodgers or not, but he said that's not all true. He didn't give him a list of players they have to get.
So who do you believe?
I love the Lazard signing regardless.
Yeah. So who do you believe?
It's probably in the middle. It's probably in the middle. That would be my guess. But they're talking about wanting a Stafford package, like 2 number ones. I don't know. You got to dig in right now if you're the Jets a little bit.
What do you think? What do you think is fair compensation?
No more than 1 number one.
I agree.
I think we were going in not having any number ones because you're taking on this money. You got a ton of money.
Well, I think that's part of that's what's holding it up.
This is where the Packers lose. He just retires.
Well, that's not true
Packers
too.
get nothing.
If he doesn't go to the Jets, he's not retiring.
Well, that's what he says.
He's just going to sit on the bench. Now what are you going to do as a
No,
Packer?
so they lose.
And Rodgers, yeah, and they lose. Yeah. Rodgers gets paid.
And
But-
that's how the Jets have to be thinking. You got to play a little bit of hardball right now. You can't just give in to them. I'm sorry.
Well,
I'm agreeing with you.
do you think it's all going to play out
You
before
like
the
that beer?
weekend's through?
I do. I
Do
do.
you think we'll know what's going on before the weekend is through?
No. This is going to go on until the draft. The draft, they got to know what they're doing, who they draft, how much they have.
When's the draft?
April 20 something.
A lot of stuff can happen between now and April 20th.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
What about your Giants?
They're making good moves.
Smart. Waller's a little risky, but if he's healthy,
And so yeah, it's 3 years signed long term, but only you can back out after every year. He's good. And that linebacker they got from the Colts,
Yeah.
he was a beast.
didn't they get another receiver too?
Yeah, they did. They got, I think a guy from the Colts too, a second receiver, yes.
So you're definitely drafting O-line, no doubt about it.
That's what I said. What I told you. I want beef. I want beef.
So do I.
What do you think the Giants are going to draft?
Oh, I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion about it yet. My mind is focused on
Baseball?
on the mediocre offseason of the New York Yankees and what I think is going to happen.
Well, let's talk about the Yankees then. That's fair. That's fair. A fair intro.
Well, your bright spot it seems to be this kid. Won't be.
Yeah. Well, you know, Cashman is, I think, too protective of his young talent. Do you think that they'll put him on the opening day roster?
I think
At a minimum, they'll wait until that date where you buy another year of.
See, I think that's wrong. I think just like quote unquote Florial's everyone number one pick, and he's a bum.
Oh my God.
And he's a bum. He overvalues his prospect.
One
And
thing
he's
to
frightened to put him out there.
When Pete Alonso spring training mashed, and they didn't wait. They didn't wait the month.
Oh yeah, when they brought him up.
He earned his spot. We'll lose the year arbitration, but he earned his spot.
That's
Yeah.
correct.
I loved when they
Well,
did.
that's why the way Volpe's playing now, there's no
You can
reason
do the
in the
same
world
thing.
he shouldn't be up playing for the Yankees. No reason.
He shouldn't.
He should be playing. And now they have Khalifa, which I don't know why they signed at the beginning of the year anyway. I don't know what the hell was on his mind.
They should just trade him because you got the other kids. Braga.
They got Peraza. And they got another kid in the minors. So why this affection for, what is it, kind of Khalifa?
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
know.
understand it.
Yeah.
He's not even very good. Anyway, you cut it.
Yeah.
Boone is hot on him. You know, he really likes him. I think he's just a workaday. You know, he's better than Horace Clark, but he's not. He's no Derek Jeter.
All I know is this is the best time of the year. Baseball's starting to kick off. Football, we talk football 12 months a year now.
Yeah. Right.
12 months out of the year. Draft is coming up. I love the draft.
I'm very intrigued about Judge. How he comes out the gate.
Yeah.
I think his numbers will be there at the end of the year. I don't think
All
he's
right,
going to do
let's-
what he did last year, but
Yankee fan, what do you if you had to pick numbers for Judge?
Not going to have last year
No, I don't think you will
because
either.
from the very start, people are going to look at him the way they did when he was trying to get number 63 last year,
I think
and it's
you
going to
want-
put a lot of pressure
I
on
think you
him.
want 40 and 100 from Judge.
If you had to average out what he's going to do over the next 3 years, I'd say 40 is good, maybe 110, which would be great, right?
If any player getting that kind of money, there's only a handful of them. And 40 and 100,
That's
you
great.
can't expect more. Anything more than that is great.
It's crazy, yeah.
Let's see if he stays healthy.
Let's
Let's see if Stanton can make it to May without his first injury. You know?
But I'm definitely watching Judge. I'm interested to see how he reacts. I don't think he's someone that's gonna he's not Mo Vaughn where he gets the contract and now
disappears.
he's a professional. I don't worry about any of that. But
You know what I'm trying to figure out? Nothing Yankees or Mets related. Is San Diego real? The
Well,
Padres.
the what?
Padres, are they real? Are
on
they
paper,
gonna- are
on
they-
paper they are.
In the bank account, they're real.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
They want a Judge.
They offered more to Judge.
Where's
They
this
offered
money
more to
coming from?
Judge.
They're like what?
If it wasn't for
like Steve
Al
Cohen money.
stepping in that list, he would have been playing San Diego.
Yeah.
I think they're for real.
I want to
Machado.
Yeah.
Because I thought Machado was going to be on our radar, but
They're gone.
Yeah, but no, he's gone. What about Otani? You gonna get him?
that's
kicking.
who we need.
He's kicking ass. Now,
If the kids do what they're supposed to do, Beatty takes over third. Otani is the spend next year.
don't be surprised he's the guy we get now that we lost Diaz. Good point. Good point.
Thank you, Chris. Oh, I forgot to say Baguette.
You're a rookie. Listen to me.
Too much bread.
Well, the Angels have two of the best players in baseball.
You know,
Trout and Otani.
You know what I
if
wish-
Otani goes, does Trout say, "I want to go, trade me"?
but you know what made me happy? You know what made me happy?
We're not on video.
Is the fact that we don't see in on the East Coast, we don't see Trout enough. Because I love watching him play.
Bobby, I think you bring up a good point. Does Trout ever ask for out? And if he does, he's coming home. It's going
He's
to
a
be
Jersey
Philly.
kid.
It's going to be Philly.
Yeah, I know, but he's a Jersey kid, though, right?
Could have even been the Yankees. He is. He's a Jersey kid, but he was a Philly, not a Yankee. fan.
Yeah, you're right.
Well,
Would you want him? Because he gets hurt too. He gets hurt more than Judge.
No, yeah, I don't think he's not the right fit for the Mets.
And Kevin
As great as he is.
Yes. He's not the right.
As great as he is, I don't think he's the right fit for the Mets.
Who? Trout?
Yeah.
yeah, I'd like to see him as a Yankee. Personally,
I think he'd be a great Yankee.
yeah.
What would scare me is him as a Philly. You add him to that lineup, Jesus Christ.
Well, we're going to keep our first cast a little shorter because we're going to, build up a groove over time.
Okay.
What I want to say is that there's going to be plenty to talk about next week that hasn't even come up yet. We'll see what happens next week with Rogers. What other talk is coming up? What other players get hurt in the Yankees and Mets? And everything else. The Knicks, we didn't even talk about the Knicks today. Or the Nets, but the Knicks are more exciting.
Or the Rangers.
Or the Rangers. But we will.
Stay tuned for some special guest appearances
Special guest appearances
at some point.
right here at the Red Hat. And signing off for now, Robert, or Bobby as you hear me being called, Lenny and Ben. Talk to you next time.